India and the US close to a landmark tariff deal, a new era for trade relations. A major breakthrough in global trade could be on the horizon as India and the United States reportedly near a deal to reduce US tariffs on Indian imports to just 15 to 16%, according to a recent report by Mint. If finalized, this would mark one of the most significant trade developments between the two nations in years, reshaping their economic partnership and setting a new precedent for global trade diplomacy. From trade tensions to strategic cooperation. For years, trade relations between India and the US have experienced highs and lows, from disputes over tariffs to disagreements on agricultural and energy policies. Currently, many Indian exports face US import duties as high as 50%, limiting their competitiveness in the American market. However, the new deal under discussion seeks to slash these tariffs dramatically to around 15–16%, signaling a major policy shift in Washington and a new phase of mutual economic trust between the two democracies. Key sectors in focus. According to the report, energy and agriculture are central to the negotiations. India may allow imports of non-GMO corn and soymeal from the United States, a move that could open new opportunities for American farmers while diversifying India's agricultural supply base. In return, Washington is expected to offer favorable tariff terms for Indian goods, such as textiles, pharmaceuticals, machinery, and IT-related products, sectors where India has strong export potential. Additionally, discussions reportedly include India's willingness to reduce dependence on Russian crude oil, aligning more closely with Western trade and energy frameworks. Why this deal matters. 1. Boost for Indian exports. Lower tariffs would allow Indian manufacturers to compete more effectively in the U.S. market, leading to potential growth in exports and foreign exchange inflows. 2. Enhanced bilateral relations. The deal could strengthen the India-US strategic partnership, particularly at a time when both nations are seeking to counterbalance China's economic influence in Asia. 3. Energy diversification. For India, the agreement might provide more stable access to American energy supplies, reducing vulnerability to geopolitical risks from Russia or the Middle East. 4. Agricultural exchange. Opening the Indian market to U.S. agricultural goods could also improve food security and stabilize domestic prices, especially during times of climate-induced production challenges. Global implications. This potential tariff reduction comes amid growing global trade fragmentation, where countries are rethinking their supply chains and alliances in a post-pandemic world. If India and the US can finalize this agreement, it would send a strong signal that cooperative trade diplomacy is still possible, despite rising protectionism worldwide. It could also encourage other nations to pursue similar tariff rationalizations, especially in Asia-Pacific regions, where economic blocs like ASEAN are actively reshaping trade dynamics. Challenges ahead. Despite the optimism, the deal is not yet finalized. Both governments must navigate domestic pressures, from farmers' unions in India to industrial lobby groups in the United States. Additionally, any shift in India's oil import policy away from Russia could have both economic and political repercussions. Moreover, while the proposed tariff cut benefits both sides, balancing trade deficits and regulatory barriers will remain ongoing issues that require careful management. Conclusion: a defining moment for economic diplomacy. If the deal is concluded successfully, it could mark the beginning of a new chapter in India-US economic relations, one that combines trade liberalization with strategic alignment. For India, it's a step toward global trade leadership. For the US, it's an opportunity to strengthen ties with one of the world's fastest-growing economies. In a world increasingly defined by economic competition and geopolitical tension, this agreement stands as a reminder that diplomacy and dialogue still have the power to bridge divides and build prosperity across borders.